Good evening, everybody. Good day, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's live stream. So, a couple admin points. We are interrupting our regular Monday night series, which has been the European Capital series, as we're currently in Eastern Europe in that series. And given the situation that's going on, well, I've decided that we're just going to suspend flights over there. And so we're starting a new series here for now. Hopefully we'll get back to the European capitals one eventually. And we're going to be flying down through the Americas. The second point is, this is the premiere and debut of the channel livery. We will be flying Caribou Airways. And we're here in the fly-by-wire A320neo. And this beautiful livery developed and painted by our own Dark Fury. We can take a look at it here. It's a little bit icy. We're up in northern Alaska right now. But very nice. Got the Inukshuk on the tail. Caribou Airways. And we're hoping to get more aircraft done up in Caribou liveries as well. But it is looking very good. And I just got disconnected from VATSim again. I'm going to change servers because it seems to be acting up a little bit. I'm going to go to USA East server. Let's log in. See how that goes. So here we are. Oh, it looks like it's a very funky colored Alaskan Airlines. I guess that's dark. Fury and Nick's coming in as well. He should be in a few minutes. So today we're starting the new series. We are flying from Barrow, Alaska, the northern part of North America. And on the first leg we're flying down to Anchorage. And this series is going to take us all the way down to the southern tip of South America. Leila, hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here for the flight. So it's pretty cold up here right now. Let me grab the weather just so everyone is aware of what we're facing here. It's gotten a little bit better over the last few minutes with the skies clearing slightly. So we are now in VFR conditions, although it was strictly IFR a little while ago. As you can see, it's minus 6 degrees out. We got 8 miles of visibility and pretty much no winds. so we can hop on board and we can start getting the aircraft all set up. It's been a while since I've flown it. I did do a test flight yesterday just to try to knock the rust off, so if I miss anything, please be gentle and forgive me. Alright, let's get on board the aircraft. Alright, as you can see, it is frozen over, which is fine. It's going to take us a while to get this thing up and running. Me, I am from the Toronto area in Canada. Where are you watching from? Alright, just getting out my checklist here. This is the latest fly-by-wire, so we're going to have all the new voices. And we're going to not be running packs today. We're going to be letting the aircraft do all the announcements and everything, so it'll be interesting to see what we have. So let's do a check on the aircraft. So the parking brakes are set. Flap lever is up. Spoilers are retracted and disarmed. Weather radar is off. Predictive wind shear is off. Engine masters 1 and 2 are off. Engine mode selector is in normal. Thrust levers are in idle. Gear lever is down. And wipers are off. So, start getting set up. We'll turn the batteries on. We have no external power, so what we're going to do is we're going to start the APU up. Ah, you're from Anchorage. Ah, that's where we're headed on this flight. Excellent. And we'll start the APU. And now we're going to have to wait for it to power up. So while we're doing that, I'll just mention that we are, I think, 3 subscribers away from 350. As I mentioned on Sunday stream, I do have a special flight planned for when we hit 350. It's a recreation of a live route, a real route. So it'll be interesting to fly it. It'll take place on a Saturday, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll run it as a multiplayer instead of a VATSim, so everyone can join in, and it should be an interesting thing. It'll be a long stream. There we go, number of hours, but it will be a good one. So there's the APU up and running. Accubrake pressure is checked. Cockpit lights and panel lights, we'll start bringing them all up online now. Oh, thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the stream, and if you are into the simming and you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. We'll get the Discord to pop up in a minute, but all our flights, all our live streams are all open for people to join in. You can join in on the multiplayer, or if you're on VATSim, we also have some VATSim streams like the one we're doing today. So they're all available for you. Let's get the APU bleed on. Let's get the air going, and the window heats are on, so they should start defrosting here. Let me just bring up the Discord once again. For the link. Alright, so the cockpit lights are on, instrument lights are on, instrument brightness is done, APU fire test. Well, the APU is already up and running, so we can't do that. Crew oxygen supply is now on. We'll get the ears up and running. Cockpit voice recorder is good. We can do the test. That's all good there. Alright, external lights, we're going to turn on the wing lights and the nav lights. Seatbelt signs are on. No smoking sign. Seatbelts on. Come on, give me the indicator. No smoking signs are on. And the emergency exits are armed. Annunciator panel is fine. Probe and window heats are on auto. That is confirmed. We're going to fire it on just to get the windows de-icing. APU is up and running. Temperatures, it's kind of cold. We'll go a couple notches up on the heat. ECAM battery South America from FS. Oh, okay, that should be a good flight. Fuel pumps are confirmed off. Engine 1 fire test. Engine 2 fire test. Is good. Flight directors for 1 and 2 are on. Barrow QNH is 29908. Let's get that switched over. 29908 is set. And the constraints and EFIS is 40, and ARC over on Fred's side or Roger's side, and I'm good over here. And FCU speed and handling. Today we are going up to an altitude of 39,000 feet. So we're just going to dial that right in. There's no ATC currently on up in this area, so we'll just clear ourselves straight up. 39,000 feet is set. Heading and altitude will be in manage when we're set to go. Radio will come down 122.8. That is what we want. And we can start doing all our initializations. So we'll come over, turn the pad on. Hopefully this starts defrosting shortly. Alright. So we're going to come over to our initialization and we will pull in our route. And there we go. Call sign CWS for Caribou Airways 5556. We're heading from Barrow to Anchorage. Current tropo is 35651. So we will change that. There we go. That is all set and we are good there. So we'll come down. Oh, one thing I want to check before we start. I'll bring in our flight plan. There we go. Let me go to our settings, realism, and okay, that's all good. There we are. So we're going to come down here. We will go to our MCDU, ATSU, AOC, weight and balance, and we will start boarding the aircraft. 154 passengers total today. Yep, it all looks good. Let's start boarding. So while they're boarding, we can start with the fuel and get our load set up. So our fuel for today, 6,698 kilograms. 6,698 kilograms. We'll start that loading. And that is all good. So we'll head back over to the unit and we'll go to our flight plan. Alright, so we're going to be taking off out of Barrow. We're going to be heading to this waypoint here. There's going to be a deceleration point. We're going to come up to the TKA VOR and then into Barrow. So we'll put in our departure and arrival information. Departure is direct out. We're going to be on runway 26, given that the winds winds are 0. Let's use runway 8. It's closer. So we're going to change to runway 8. So we're going to depart on runway 8. And no SIDS. So we'll enter that in. Our arrival into Anchorage is going to be for the RNAV runway 33. We're going to arrive on the Tiger 8. There it is there. We're going to be coming in via Zyron. And let me just pull up the chart. We'll take a look at it in a minute. believe we're going to come in via TKA. That is correct. So that is all set. So we'll insert that. Alright, so we take off on 08. We're going to fly up. Once we pass 1544, we'll be on vectors, but what we'll do is we'll just do a direct to K2 and we'll carry on. We're then going to come into TKA, into Traeger, over to TED. What we're going to do is we're going to remove that discontinuity. So we'll fly down. This is the viewer at the airport, and then this will take us out onto the approach, which is going to be basically a left-hand circle down around. I tell you, I just saw that. Yeah, the Sirens call. We're going to fly down and around. It's a curving approach that'll take us down around onto the RNAV into the airport. And we'll take a look at that on the charts in a second. So that is all programmed in, and that looks actually fine. Now we're just going to wait for the boarding to finish. We'll come back just so we can monitor our progress. Windshields are starting to come off there. So I wonder how everyone else is doing out here. Nick, I'm not seeing you in yet. How's it going? So we're going to be taxiing down this way to the end of the runway and then taking off to the east. What I am going to do now, well, it's hard to see with all the snow, is I'm going to set my pushback. Although I probably could just wheel around. We'll use the pushback. I'll bring up the arrow, which is too far. Actually, given where Dark's sitting, I don't want to push into him. So actually, we're not going to use the pushback. I will, I'll just wheel it around where we are and wheel it down. You can just see, like, we're almost overhanging the taxi line there. Hey, Cam G, good to see you. How's everything going? You can see the cloud mass here. This is why it was IFR here a little while ago. Oh, you're restarting computer? Oh, okay. If you look over here, you can see the edge of the land just beyond the housing. That's the Arctic Ocean. So we are, like I said, as far north in the mainland as you can get before you head off into the islands in northern Canada, Baffin Island and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the Arctic Ocean out there, and we're up here in the winter. Surprisingly, it's only like -5. Alright, so we're waiting for everyone to get on board, and then we'll do the weight and balance. And windshields are de-icing as well. So let's take a look at the route and what we are actually flying today. So I'll come down to the charts. First thing here, where we've got the airport. Here's Barrow Airport. It's only 7,000 foot runway, but it's not too bad to get going. Actually, I'm not doing too bad. Thank you. So we're going to be taxiing down Alpha to run to 08. We don't need to go all the way to the back. We can take off from here, and we're going to head off to the east from there. It is kind of a direct out. Once we get up a couple thousand feet, we'll make the right turn, and we'll head down towards our first waypoint, which is right here. And as you can see, we're flying over Alaska. I do have Orbex Alaska mesh, so if we get some breaks in the clouds, we should be able to see some of the mountains and everything that we have up here. Yeah, the taxiways would be plowed. I mean, that's a given. So it's basically a straight line. We're going to go by Fairbanks. We should be able to see Denali, the big mountain, and we're going to come all the way down here to just north of Anchorage. Once here, we're going to come in on a Trigger 8. We'll be coming down into this valley between these mountain ranges. We're going to head down into the center of the range, then turn down towards the airport, which is located on the water down here. Once we're there, as you can see, we're going to fly in towards the VOR. We'll then make a right turn, head out towards Ziren. We'll be at 3,000 feet for that. We're going to go to 2,200 feet at Jamaat. And then we're going to arc around at 2,200 feet. Once we get to Herky, we'll descend down to 1,200 feet. And then from there, it's the RNAV approach. In more or less going to be like a visual approach. Since I still don't think the RNAV is working properly in this airplane. At least I couldn't get it working the other day on my test flight. Conditions currently down in Anchorage are calm winds, 7 miles visibility, broken cloud at 6,500, broken at 20,000, -4 degrees, and no real changes predicted. So that should be pretty good. Once we land, we're going to be landing on runway 33 here. So we're going to come up. We'll probably get off around Uniform. We're going to then taxi back on Romeo, and we're heading down to the south terminal, and we'll be going into the sea gates here on the Concourse C for our arrival, and that should get us nicely set up. So we're probably
15 Whiskey radio check.
15 Whiskey 5556 loud and clear.
Roger, thank you.
So we're probably going to come in over here, taxi up and around, come up to the taxi lane in, and then into one of the sea gates here at Concourse C. So that is the plan for this flight. And I've got a little bit of in-flight entertainment once we get up into the cruise as well that we'll be able to enjoy. And the windows are clearing pretty nicely. Coming along, where do we sit? 107 passengers on board. You can hear them in the back getting settled in. But we are pretty much ready to go. MCU data is in for the flight. IRSs are now aligned. We still got to do our weights and everything. But that's fine. IFR clearance, we are self-cleared. IRSs just came into alignment. The flight plan we have reviewed. EFIS nav aids are all set the way I like them. And takeoff briefing is the standard briefing. Not that I have failures set or anything, but if we had any type of failures or cautions below V1, we'll stop on the runway. If we have anything other than a major engine fire or explosion after V1, we'll take it to the air. And then, of course, after we rotate, everything goes into the air, and then we'll deal with as per normal. We'll run the memory checklists, contact tower, and then make arrangements to come back if required. Squawk code for today's flight, it's on 7,000. I'm going to change that to the North American IFR default, which is 2,000, since we are in North America. I do have real-time loading going on in the back for passengers. So today's flight is predicted to be 2 hours and 10 minutes gate to gate, or 1 hour 53 minutes air time. As I mentioned, altitude of 39,000 feet. And we're going to have a little bit of a headwind on the way down. So once again, this livery provided to us by our own Dark Fury, who's sitting over on the other side in the Alaskan Airways. And as mentioned, this is the channel livery, Caribou Airways, nice Canadian aircraft here, the red and white for Canada. We got the Inukshuk on the tail, and of course Caribous are ubiquitous up in northern Canada. If you are interested in getting the livery or flying in the livery, it is available to all members who are supporting the channel monthly. If you wish to do that, if you follow the link to the donations, you can select the monthly donation option. No limit set. There's no minimum, but just have monthly support in order to be able to get this livery and other aircraft as they come online, as we fly around, and you know, show the channel pride, as it were. And hopefully we'll see more and more Caribou liveries and Caribou flights in the future.
Alaska 15 Whiskey, pushback and start Charlie 7, facing west.
Alright, looks like Derek's ready to go. We're almost there. We've just got about 5 more passengers to get on board. He's going to push back. And as I said, we'll just start up and make the turn in place to get out. We should have enough room. Yeah, we'll have enough room around that building. Not going to be an issue.
Boarding completed.
Alright, boarding's completed. So we're going to come back to our initialization. We'll go over to init B. Clear that. There is our 0 fuel weight, and our center of gravity is set, and our block fuel was 6.6. And we will put that in.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
There you go. Headwind of 26 knots. We'll put that in there, and that gives us all our calculations and stuff. So we've got our load sheets from the ground crew and everything. We can now lock the door. There we go. And we're good. So we'll come over to the performance side. 18,000 feet is our transition altitude is fine. It's going to be a flaps 1 takeoff. Our center of gravity is going to be 0.9 up, which is what it always seems to work out to be. It's not going to be a flex. We're going to go with a toga takeoff today. Main reason is I'm still working out that calculator, but the runway is contaminated, so it'd be a toga anyway. And that will give us V speeds of 132, 133, and 137. So pre-startup, APU master is on. APU has been started. MCDU weights are in. MCDU takeoff performance calculations are done. Our V speeds, as mentioned, are done. APU bleed is on. External power is disconnected. Air conditioning as required. So we're to push back and engine start. Cockpit, our windows and doors are closed. Cockpit door is closed and locked. Fuel pumps will now come on. Beacon light is coming on. Transponder is, we'll turn it on now, and we're on TARA for TCAS. Clock, we'll start the clock for takeoff. Parking brake is set. We are good for engine start in place. Alright, engine mode selector to start. And starting engine number 1. We'll give it a listen from inside the cockpit as she winds up. You can hear them doing the announcements in the back. We'll go outside for engine number 2. Wait for the engine to stabilize. Hi, Wayne. Yeah. Here are the circuit breakers and bus ties all click. A good start on engine.
Barrow traffic, Alaska 15 Whiskey's got taxi via Alpha, line up runway 08.
engine 1 and starting engine number 2, and we'll go outside and give it a listen. Yeah, Wayne, there is a slight chill in the air. Definitely. All right, as it comes up to speed, we'll get everything ready to go. There's the remaining circuit breakers kicking over, and good engine. All right, APU bleed's coming off. APU is now shut off. Engine mode selector can go back to normal. I'm going to turn the anti-ice on now. Just make sure those surfaces are good. We are going to be going through some clouds on the climb out, so we're going to want that. So before taxi checklist. Auto brakes are going to max. Spoilers are now armed. Flaps 1+F. Engine anti-ice is on flight controls. Go flight control tech. Full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, left rudder, right rudder, neutral. Really want to check that in conditions like this to make sure nothing is frozen and no ice has gotten in there and jammed everything up. Nick, I see you're still not in. You having any luck there? Steering pin, it's not a concern. It wasn't put in. Pitch trim, we'll come over. Oh, let me go back to the flight controls. Pitch trim we want to put in, it was 0.9 up, so we'll dial that in. There we go. Rudder trim is
Barrow traffic.
neutral
Flight
and
45 Whiskey departing runway 07
that is done.
to Roger to the south.
So nose light goes to taxi. Runway turn off lights will come on. Strobe lights are off. Parking brake will release, and we'll do the config check when we come around the corner. Let's get a better view here so we can see ourselves turning around. Power up the right engine a bit more. Not that much. There we go. The thing I got to remember is I got to see if I can change the way my throttles work. But I now go straight back into reversers without an indent on my throttle linkage. So can get a little bit hairy at times. Alright, so now that we're coming down here, we'll do our TO config check. That's good, and we will ding the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Oh, and that cloud looks pretty threatening off in the distance there. Leg 2 is, I believe, it's Anchorage to Seattle. That Marshall ducked at the last minute. I saw him get safely out of the way. No ramp agents were injured in the making of this video. Yeah, I think it's Anchorage to Seattle for leg 2, which will be next Monday. All right. So we can do our before takeoff. So cabin crew is notified. Exterior lights, put on the landing lights, the strobe lights, nose wheel to takeoff. Anti-ice is on, packs are set. TCAS is on, transponder is on, TCAS, TARA set above. Weather radar, I know it's not working, we'll put it on anyway. PWS is on. And weather mode is WX plus T. Takeoff memo, no blue. Barrow traffic, Caribou, 5556, taking position, runway 08, departure to the south. Alright, so we'll get ourselves out onto the runway, and then we can start the clock, and we'll be off. Didn't like the Caribou, really. That's not good. I had no issues coming in. Whoops. That's the decreased rudder efficiency for steering on ground using the rudder pedals. Keep forgetting about that. Alright, so there we go. Engines are back. We're good. We'll start the clock. Engine's coming up to 40%. Engines are stable. Brakes released. Going to toga power. Mantoga SRS enabled. Airspeed's live. 100 knots. Oh, I see a Caribou there. And so what, you logged in a BA livery, positive rate, you're up, and then use the Caribou call sign. Alright. Spoilers are disarmed. Throttle's back to climb. We're fairly nose high here. Alright, let's flex. Come on, there we are. Thrust, climb. Alright, 2,400 feet. We're starting to accelerate. Autopilot engaged, and we're going to give ourselves a direct. And away we go. So we'll bring that out. Yeah, that's what I figured. So there's 4,000 feet. We're through S speed, so retracting the flaps. There's the cloud coming up. Hence the anti-ice. Oh, infinite flight. Yeah, I've heard of that. So hopefully we get some nice views once we poke through this cloud layer here. And that's a good thing about winter clouds. They don't tend to stack too high. Although they tend to be pretty thick. Wait, have you ever been to the Catford Sewage Works? Seems to come up a lot in conversations. $10,000 feet coming up. And we seem to be reaching the tops of the cloud layer here. So we're now accelerating to 290 for the climb. We can turn off all the lights, turn off those lights and those lights, kill the wing lights. It's pretty calm up, so everyone can get up and move around. And I'll leave the anti-ice on for another minute or two until we're really clear of this stuff. But we should be pretty good from here up, as we've got nothing but blue skies above us. This probably goes up to about 13,000 feet or so. The two Ruddies, okay. It might clear further south. They're coming, well, they're still calling for broken cloud around Alaska. We may see some mountains pointing through it. I'm going to switch over to standard pressure since we're cleared above transition level. It is nice being back in the Airbus. See them. Oh, there's dark appearing on the TCAS up ahead. It's not too far out, about 30 miles out. So, one thing I do got to figure out is the performance calculator. I'm going to have to get that set up and start using that, get comfortable with that one. Should be good. I'd rather that they have all the identified flying objects in the sim, such as the multiplayer people. Which apparently there was no fix for it in this update, so we'll have to live with that for a little while longer. Nick's, well, I haven't heard him. I think he's still back at the airport. So what's going on down at Anchorage right now? It's, I'm not sure how busy it is. We will find out. 7 departures, 7 arrivals. Alright, so there's a little bit of traffic around Anchorage. Well, scheduled traffic anyway. Oh, there's a little bit of Alaska down below. There's the aircraft, looking nice. It's pretty cloudy out here today. Makes for a gray day down on the ground. SKBO to SPSJ. Which airports are those again? There's Alaska below. noisy wind-wise out there at the moment. Bogota, SKBO, is that Bogota? The whole plane was iced up when we initially took off. Turned off the anti-ice now since we're out of the cloud. Turn that back to auto. Had to put on all the anti-ice. Bogota to Lima. Yeah, what are you flying for that route? Airline probably LATAM. Oh yeah, right, Dart. Let's go back out and take a look. So there you can see the registration. Now Canada doesn't use the A. It'd be either CG or CF, but it's a nice one for the CA for Canada, and then DFD, and of course on the belly, so everyone can look up and see us fly overhead. Got the caribou on the bottom. So it looks really good. Oh, cargo flight. Yeah, they don't argue much about your flying or complain about your flying, like those pesky passengers sometimes do. It's 27,000 feet. We'll be settling in shortly. So I'm going to go off mic now and go bring up the entertainment for the flight, and then we'll pick up again before we brief for our arrival. And hopefully we get some nice views out the windows as we go cruising along here. I'm trying to remember what side mountains will appear on. If they come up, I'm not sure. But we'll give you a view out the left side of the aircraft. I think that's where some of the mountains will be. Anyway, we'll be back in a bit. Enjoy the flight.
Give me the bottle.
Stand by, boys. These hot dogs will be barking in a minute.
regiment's bluebird to sing along with you. Take me back to fields of clover, where a buckaroo should be. It's home sweet home to me. Haven't seen you, Mr. Neighbor, long as we've been gone. That corral's waiting, neighbor, to hang my saddle on. Gonna serenade my lady.
Hey, Roy! Stop that caterwauling!
It's home sweet home to me.
Every time you start singing, this nag's heel starts flying.
That's what you've been saying all the way from Arizona. Why don't you call it quits?
Quit nothing. I told you I was gonna break this wall-eyed cayuse to drive and by cracky Aldor. Ain't no that blamed horse gonna make a fool out of me. I'll take a run out of you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, for the flight deck, Captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your seat elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin and galley cart shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Picked a mighty gloomy time to come back, Roy. All you hear is talk of war and secession. I thought Missouri voted to stay in the Union. Legally, we are loyal, but morally, we've got a divided household. If war does come, it will probably take every resource the South possesses. By the way, don't worry about your horses. I'll take them off your hands myself.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Morrison, but that's a little out of your line, isn't it?
The way conditions are, good horses are going to be at a premium.
We won't have any trouble making a deal. I'm hearing things, Trigger. I could have sworn I recognized that whistle.
How dare you? Can a person walk down the street without being insulted?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Well, I should think you would be.
Dave, you old He's the Arizona kid himself. What are you doing back in Missouri?
Long story.
Well, come on, let's have a talk and bring this thing over.
You do the drinking, I'll eat. I'm hungry enough to chew field corn.
You came to the right place. I'll introduce you to the best cook in Kelso. Hey, Joe, look who's here. Hello, Roy.
Howdy, Joe.
Fix me a drink while I get Roy something to eat.
Come back with me and I'll take you in as a partner.
Oh, thanks. If I ever have anything to do with horses, I won't raise them, I'll race them.
What are you going to do?
Plenty, as soon as I get the sort of proposition I want.
Dave, old son, you're drifting.
Who says I am? I'm considering a proposition right now. Looks good, too, if we have war.
You'll never make any money soldiering.
Anytime I fight, it won't be for 4 bits a day. I'm going to ride with a real leader, a man who knows how to make war pay.
Who is he?
Well, if you must know, he's the best friend the South has ever had in the state of Missouri.
Not if he means easy money.
Maybe that's the kind I like.
It's the kind that'll get you in trouble.
It's McBride. McBride's coming in. Come on, Roy, it's Val McBride. Sorry to bust up your game, Roy, but they're liable to wreck the place. Well, where you been this time, McBride?
Give you one guess.
Bet you've been over playing tag with those Kansans. You're right the first time. Where's Best Warren?
Right here, Val.
Present for you.
Val McBride. You angel.
Here, you'll have all these folks thinking that I'm in love with you instead of your cooking. Hello, Dave. Hello, Captain McBride. Been waiting long? No, not at all. Things are working out fine. Lots better than we expected.
Step up, everybody. The drinks are on the house.
A true Southern hostess. You know, one of these days, I'm gonna buy you the finest place. Sure. I'm worried about something.
I am. Dave, you're in bad company.
Right? We've got them all wrong. You mean those raids over in Kansas?
That's exactly what I mean. He's the worst cutthroat that ever put a torch to a farmhouse.
Well, they had it coming. Why, there isn't a man in Kansas who wouldn't shoot McBride on sight.
And I'll tell you why. He went in there pretending he was their friend. George Bannon, he called himself. And he turned on him and sold him out.
What was that name I heard?
Bannon. George Bannon.
I never heard of George Bannon. Neither did you.
That's funny. You're the spitting image of him. Even to that scar.
Scratch that ceiling. Hey, McBride. Hey, McBride. McBride, Union troops coming. We better hit the road. And you better hit it fast.
You're all wrong about McBride. Why, there isn't a man in this command who wouldn't die for him if he had to. Why, they all swear by him.
He's got you fooled. I can see that.
Send that to Ed Mason over in Baines, Kansas. I'll be glad to get it if he's still alive.
What's the idea? I ain't done nothing. Turn me loose, you blue-nosed Yanks. What do you want with me?
You're a friend of McBride's, aren't you?
Me? A friend of that skunk? You don't know what you're talking about.
Anything wrong, Lieutenant?
We have it on reliable authority that McBride was seen heading this way.
I hope not.
If anyone here has seen or heard of Val McBride, speak up.
Well, now, wait a minute. I can tell you.
What's that?
What I was going to say is, you're just wasting your time trying to get anything out of us.
Well, for your information, McBride has been outlawed by the federal government. Anyone found harboring or protecting him will be found equally guilty of treason.
Boy, you sure gave me a scare.
You sure gave me a blister.
How long have you known McBride?
You know, I can't figure you, Roy. First you're ready to fight McBride, then when you have a chance to square accounts, you don't even open your mouth.
I know how he operates. 5 lone soldiers wouldn't have a dog's chance against that mob of bushwhackers.
He just left town, sir. He rode south about 10 minutes ago.
Roy! Roy? Fool soldiers are going chasing McBride after all.
They'll be ambushed. We've got to stop.
Hey, Chief. Look what we're running from.
5 little 10 soldiers.
Boy, we'd ought to be ashamed of ourselves.
Better than shooting rabbits. don't like it no better than you do. I've got to make out a report. Jones, you rode out there. What's your opinion?
Oh, I'd say it was Indian, Sheriff.
All right. That's what I'll put down.
Doggone their lying souls.
What's the use? Even if we had proof, that sheriff wouldn't do anything. He's afraid to go after McBride.
That isn't Roy Rogers. It couldn't be.
That's who it is. The same fellow who slept this morning.
You're joking.
No, I'm not. It's the same Roy Rogers who used to fight with me to see who would carry your books home from school.
I can't believe it.
I'll go over and get it.
Oh, no, Dave, not now, please. I'd rather wait till tomorrow night and surprise him. Do you have those invitations?
Right here.
Well, make him promise to come. Don't say anything about me.
I won't, beautiful.
All right, Henry.
Roy, you remember Doc Radford who lived the other side of town?
Sure I do.
Well, I hope to tell you, didn't I ride and get Doc Radford the day Roy was born? Heh, you're darn tootin' I did. Rode 20 miles through a howling blizzard.
Well, he heard you were in town and asked me to give you these.
Hey, what does that RSVP mean? Is that some kind of a new secret organization?
When are you going to get smart and marry me?
When are you going to get a job and settle down? They're here.
Gentlemen, I'll make you a wager. The best horse in Missouri gets the plug hat. Within 30 days, Jeff Davis will have a solid south from the Mason-Dixon line to the Gulf.
You'll have to find a Republican to take that wager, Doctor. Or a Kansas. Howdy, Dr. Radford.
Well, sir, it's high time you were looking up your old friend.
Sure glad to see you again. You remember Mr. Whitaker, don't you?
Do I? How are you, old-timer? It's a fiddle lead.
There's Laura over there now, Roy. She wants to see you.
My granddaughter. The last time you saw her, she was wearing pigtails.
I remember a scrawny kid with freckles and a pug nose. Right, Dave?
That's all you remember. You've got a surprise coming. Now, where did she go? I'll find her.
Darn beat, they're killing me.
Listen.
Let's go.
Not out of your life. Staying right here. Blast it. Boots.
I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home.
Singing like an angel.
It's Master Roy himself.
Coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If you get there before I
so I can explain about yesterday morning.
I'm the one who should apologize, Mr. Rogers.
How did you know my name?
Why shouldn't I? I'm the scrawny little kid who tagged at your heels when I was in pigtails.
You don't mean Laura?
I got rid of the freckles, but there wasn't much I could do about the pug nose.
Up to your old tricks again, I see. Still trying to steal my girl away from me.
Come on, you two. I don't want to see any black eyes or bruised knuckles.
Mammy Lou, if you was my cook, I eat chicken 3 meals a day.
Mr. Gabby, you is a flattering man.
Well, I'll be a knock-kneed bobcat.
You be a which?
Oh, forget it.
Pardon me, gentlemen. May I have this dance?
Well, of course.
Pardon, ma'am. Is there anybody you want to see?
Yes, there is.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Word has just been received that Fort Sumter has been fired upon. The war is on.
Pardon.
3 cheers for the Confederacy.
Your attention. Word to the gentlemen here tonight. The South has sounded the call to arms. Missouri has turned her back on the Confederacy. But that won't keep the Southern sons of the state from fighting for Jeff Davis.
What'd I tell you?
I don't know how you feel. Speaking for myself, I can say that I'm ready to fight for the Confederacy. Every man in my command. Dave, we leave town in 30 minutes.
Dave, you're not fighting with McBride.
Why not?
I don't blame you for wanting to go to war. I'm going to fight for the South myself. But if you really want to serve the Confederacy, join the regular army. Wear the uniform. Don't fight for a blackleg like McBride.
He's talking mighty good sense, son.
Don't tell me what to do.
Can't you see what he's after? All he wants is a chance to loot, murder, burn.
You've had your say, now I'll have mine. I need money. I need it bad, and I need it fast. McBride's offered me the chance I want, and I've taken it.
You don't need to draw on us, mister. We're here to help you.
I've had enough help for one day. Clear out of here. Wait a minute. We ain't blue coats. Scouts attached to the Confederate Army. The last bunch was Confederates, too. Anyhow, they were wearing the uniform. Oh, rebel soldiers raiding rebel folks don't make sense.
It does to me. There's only one low-down traitor who could do it.
McBride.
Who else? We're on our way to the Army of the West, sir. I'll see that General Stark hears about this outrage.
Chief of Scouts for Generals Longstreet, Beauregard, and Stonewall Jackson. Don't mind saying, Captain Rogers, I'm glad to get you.
Thank you, sir.
The hardest job you and your scouts will have is keeping our lines of communication open. We're gradually being forced out of Missouri. Any hour now, I expect the order to retreat.
General, I'd like to ask if Captain McBride is attached to this command.
Yes, I'm sorry to say. What do you know about him?
Only this. I've ridden through every county between here and the Tennessee line. Wherever I went, I found wreck and ruin because of McBride and his raiders.
I've already sent for him. I'm putting a stop to his outrageous attacks on civilians. We have all we can do to fight the war.
You better wait for me at camp, Dave, and see that the men look to the horses before they eat.
Right.
department has instructed me to answer your petition for promotion under the Rangers Partisan Act.
What do I get for my services, officer? Colonelcy?
A reprimand. Did I understand the general? Evidence, both civilian and military, has reached this board of inquiry regarding your tactics. Your promotion is refused on the grounds that you failed as a gentleman and a Southern officer to observe even the commonest decencies of war. In short, Captain McBride, the Confederacy cannot and will not tolerate looting and the killing of civilians.
Lies. Dirty, rotten lies. I'll have satisfaction if I have to go to Richmond myself.
My advice to you is to thank this board for giving you a last chance to erase the blot you've placed on the Confederacy. A stigma so blank that your name has become linked with every conceivable form of brutality.
Let me tell you something. Fighting on paper in the halls of West Point is one thing. Fighting it out on the frontier is another thing. A tough fight calls for tough fighters. If you'd listen to me, the Army wouldn't be getting ready to retreat out of Missouri right now.
Captain McBride, you'll conform to orders or face court-martial. That's final. I expect you to wait for further instructions. Dismissed.
I volunteered to fight for the South. I gave her better men, better equipment, the best fighting unit in the entire South. Haven't we done our share of the fighting? What do we get? Reprimand. From a bunch of stiff shirts. Bunch of long hairs who think they can tell Pal McBride how to fight. They say we've disgraced the colors. I say let's fight under our own flag. They can't tell us what to do.
We're with you. We'll show 'em.
Devil take the South. Now on out, we're fighting for ourselves.
Laura, surprised to see you here.
Where else would I be?
Dr. Rudder,
I'm glad to see you, Roy.
you've got the lead. The Union troops are closing in.
I'm getting a little too old to run.
Have you seen Dave?
Once. It was months ago when we took Lexington. I whistled at him when he rode past.
Why, it's Mr. Morrison.
Troops have moved out without taking that consignment of gold at the bank.
Yes, and it's sure to be confiscated by the Federals.
We'll get it.
They're darn tootin' we will, or we'll blow that bank to Kingdom Come.
They're headed south, Roy and 5 other men.
That's fine, Bess. Looks like you're gonna get your new place after all.
You'll have to kill them before you get that gold.
Any objections?
Guess not.
All right, men, we ride.
What's up?
I'm going back.
You can't. If McBride finds out, he'll kill you.
I'll take my chances on that.
Get on your feet, bushwhacker. Dave!
Yeah, it's me. Put that gun down. I came back to help Roy.
You come back to rob him.
It'd be worth my life if McBride knew I was here. And don't forget I didn't have to come back. Now put that gun down and give me a hand. Roy is still alive.
I can take care of that boy without no help from you.
Well, just look at you steady.
All right. You win. Where do we take you?
The squatter's cabin about 5 miles down the road. You'll find your horse over there in the brush.
Thank you, man.
Well, you give me a start when you first come up. I thought you was Yankees. But poor man's hurt.
Badly wounded. I'll pay you well if you take him in and send for a doctor.
Ain't no doctors nearby, but he's welcome to anything here.
Thanks. We'll bring him in.
I'll get the bed ready. Whitey, how glad I think it's these diddles, mister. With the army begging for corn and the hogs, the guerrillas are raiding the smokehouse. Ain't nothing left to keep body and soul together.
Breathing's better. His fever's down.
He's pulled through worse scrapes than this.
Well, if he does, you won't be here to see it.
Maybe you're right. Wouldn't want him to know. I mean about me being with the men.
No, don't worry. I'd cut my heart out before I'd break his over a measly skunk like you.
You never did have much use for me.
Why should I? I always knowed you was trifling and weak right down to the core. I stood for you. Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way. Trying to help him now don't change matters with me none. If you ever come near him again, I'll dread your right twitch the eyes, so help me. Now get out of here and ride before he comes to and finds you.
Hey, Captain. This man says Rogers is still alive. What do you mean? That's what I heard. He's alive and gunning for me.
Roy, there's one thing I never could understand. Why you'd have anything to do with a no-good feller like Dave.
Dave's all right, Gabby. He just got off to a bad start, that's all.
Well, maybe so. He did show he wasn't all bad when you was shot. He come back to help you.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
Good reason why. You being so young and lacking the experience I had, I figured maybe you'd give up the chase for McBride.
We'll find it.
You're darn tootin' we will. There's one thing about following a skunk. It ain't hard to keep on his trail. Seems kind of deserted like.
Look at this.
Now, once the Union Army's done us a favor.
This order's gonna help plenty. McBride and his men are gonna be smoked out in the open.
We got writing to do.
You bet we have, and we're gonna travel straight to headquarters. That border country has always been one of McBride's strongholds. He could hold up there for weeks and have plenty of backwoods friends to feed him and give him warning in case of trouble.
We'll get him now. All he needs is a handful of men to hound his trail. Keep him and his guerrillas on the move.
How do you propose to get through the Union lines?
Soldiers will never get McBride. He can see those uniforms a mile off. I'll need about 8 volunteers. Men who know the Missouri trails and who have personal reasons for wanting to get McBride.
Very well. I'll give you authority to muster the necessary volunteers. The South has had enough of this lawless guerrilla. But tell me one thing, Captain. Where are you going to look for him?
Can't say, sir. I have a hunch I know about where to start.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
was here yesterday. Him and a young feller named Dave.
Whistling for that horse. Somebody might hear you.
He's coming now.
Henry, is the doctor here?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dave.
Get our horses out of sight.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell him myself. I'll see that murdering gorilla in his grave before I lift a hand to help him. Where is this Stephen Cutthroat?
Right here, Dr. Radford. Did I understand you to say you refuse to fix this wound?
That's what I said.
You either take the bullet out of this arm, or the next one out of here.
Graham, please.
Pull up with Dr. Radford's and rest the horses.
These horses ain't tired, you know it. What do you want to stop for?
Just to have a look around.
Take it easy, you old hypocrite.
I like to see you squirm. Maybe you'll remember this the next time you put a bullet through somebody. Dad, the party that did this wasn't a better shot. It's Roy.
Sorry to trouble you, but we're not finished yet. But remember, the doctor's with me.
Sammy Lou, you answer the door.
Wait here.
Hey, you ain't fooling me none. You come here to see that female Radford woman.
Howdy, Mammy Lou. You're looking well.
Maybe I is, but I'm feeling kind of pale.
Is that Laura?
She is, Mr. Ross. But Mr. Ross,
Well, look who's here.
Howdy, Laura. Let me stop you. That was beautiful.
First time I played in months, I'm afraid it's a loud tune.
Sounded all right to me. How's the doctor? Is he around?
Oh, yes, he's here somewhere.
I'd like to see the old fire eater. Where is he?
Didn't you come to see me?
Yes, of course. I just wanted to have a little talk with him.
Remember this one?
Sure I do. Mammy Lou used to sing it to us when we were so high.
Lazy old moon, keep shining, shining down for me. Lazy old moon, I'm pining just to be on that old plantation where I used to roam. Find my weary way back home.
Well, no wonder my foot hurt. How do you suppose that horseshoe nail got my boot?
Shining down for me on that old plantation where I used to roam. Life my weary way back home. Lazy old moon keeps shining,
the blood come from?
I don't know.
Looking for me?
I was.
Or I'm surprised at you. The minute I turn my back, I find my rival cutting in again.
Dave, you're not fooling anyone. I know McBride's here.
You think so? Why don't you call your men in?
You know why? They'd kill you right along with them.
That's what you came for, isn't it?
You saved my life the last time. I'm paying off that debt. I'm giving you one last chance to get away from McBride and stay away.
You don't owe me any.
Dave, you're all wrong. You've got to listen to him.
You're all wasting your time preaching sermons to me. Sure, I'm wrong. I've been wrong ever since I started. I knew what I was doing when I joined McBride. I like his way of fighting them. I like the tight corners we've been in and fought our way out. Yeah, I like the whole exciting mess.
If you're all through, get this straight. I left the Army for one reason, to get McBride. And I'm gonna get him. Only the next time you better not be with him. Because if you are, I'll have to get you too.
Dave, I'm ashamed of you.
Let's get started. It's McBride. I'm waiting for you. Running a Confederate dispatch rider. He was carrying this. This wasn't his lucky day.
More like it. If we can get a hold of that ammunition, we can hold our men together.
That ought to be easy. Won't be no detachment of troops to meet him.
Go get on your horse and tell the boys we'll reassemble at Stone Ridge.
It's one of McBride's men. There's something here about a shipment of ammunition.
They may try to head it off. We've got to warn them. One of you men take care of it.
The ammunition train's coming up the valley now.
How many men?
3 wagons. Driver and guard on each one and 2 outriders.
8 men. We won't have any trouble handling them. All right, men.
Captain Rogers on detached duty. You're in danger of an attack by McBride's guerrillas.
Show him your orders from General Stark, Roy. We gotta work fast.
Captain Roger. Take care of the wounded. We're going after McBride.
No use running the horses. They can't catch us in those wagons. What's the matter with you?
Nothing. It's only a scratch.
We've got to have that ammunition. We'll follow them and we'll wait to die. Keep on that trail and stay out of sight.
Get him up! Drop those guns.
McBride! McBride, take me with you.
Drop that gun. Start walking.
Get on off there.
Did you see anything of McBride? He must have stopped back there with the shelter.
Probably snuck off when he heard our shots.
The rest of them there, how about carrying out our orders?
Done sometime. Might just well get over with.
The order of the Confederate States and the authority vested in us. You have been tried and found guilty of desertion and treason. You have committed murder and robbery under the leadership of the guerrilla McBride. You are therefore sentenced under military law to pay for your crimes with your lives. If any of you wish to leave letters for your relatives or friends, speak up.
And how you feel, boy? You go ahead. I'll take care of this. I'll meet you in Kelso.
Wonderful. Look what the storm doing. I thought you were a ghost.
Not yet.
Come on over to the fire and dry yourself.
Oh, that's more like it. Howdy, Pat.
Pretty late. I was just getting ready to close.
was just thinking. McBride has been declared an outlaw. There's a penalty against anyone caught hiding him.
Is there?
I always thought you were clever. A lot more clever than you let on. But shielding McBride isn't going to get you.
Well, drink this hot brandy. It'll do you good.
Oh, Val! Val! Oh, Val! Val, why didn't you run away? You still had time. You could have made it.
I couldn't run. There's no other place I could go. Bess, we've only got just a minute. Take this. And help me to go elsewhere. Get a new start. Rogers. Don't make Bess pay what I've done. You can do this for me. Get me out of here. Or they'll hold her.
They won't. You have my word. We got McBride, sir.
Where was he hiding?
Over in the woods. He was miles from anywhere.
Captain Rogers, you're to be commended for your service to the Confederacy. The death of McBride means the end of guerrilla warfare.
Thank you, sir.
God willing, the war won't last much longer, and we'll soon be returning to our homes.
Doggone them ornery boots.
Got a big hole in it. Why don't you get it fixed?
I never thought anything about that.
Looks like we're starting to see some breaks in the clouds out there. Not too bad. Again, we're running the Orbex Alaska mesh, so but well, not so much for our view. But it has been pretty cloudy all the way. Anyway, we are here. I keep getting the little weighty logo on the sim now. I'm not sure if that's because it's loading in weather or what, but down here in the corner. Anyway, I've put in our top of descent ring, 113 miles out to get down to 3,000 feet at 2,000 feet per minute descent rate. We're still looking at going in for the RNAV on runway 33. There are a couple other aircraft on the way in. One just landed, and there's a UPS 767 and a Korean Airlines 787-900 on their way in to Anchorage. I think they're slightly closer, so we'll be listening for them to see what they're doing. But everything else is so far pretty good. As we can see, the weather has changed a little bit. The winds have dropped to nothing. Wind visibility is 10 miles. We have a broken cloud layer at 6,500 feet and a broken cloud layer at 20,000 feet. Temperature is currently -2, dew point -4, and the QNH is 2969er. And no significant weather changes or anything like that. So, not expecting any issues flying in. We're about 45-50 miles away from our descent. So what we're going to do is, I don't think there's going to be much change in the weather. So we'll come over here and enter in our information. So the QNH was 2969. We'll get that entered in. Airfield temperature, as I mentioned, was -2. Where's the minus? There it is. And the winds are 0 at 0. So we'll put 330 at 0, just so we get the heading. Transition altitude of 18,000 feet is fine. Approach speed of 127. It's going to be a full flap landing. And our minimums for this, we're going in on the most accurate of the RMPs. We only need 1 mile of visibility. We're fine there. So it's going to be 463 feet on the Barrow. There we go. So that's our information is now all set up. And we're just under 40 miles to top of descent. Somebody posted, I think, there's a Ukrainian vodka that's apparently available over here, and the company is sending all the proceeds back to the Ukraine for, to help with the civilians and relief efforts and all that stuff. Let's see if I can find the name of it. Can't remember what the company name was. Saw it the other day. Anyway, we're getting close. No, they don't make all the vodka. There's Polish vodka, there's Ukrainian vodka. There's even vodka made in Canada, using water from icebergs off the east coast. Not a big vodka person, but I've seen it around. So once again, we'll quickly cover the flight as we're coming in. So we're going to be coming in on the Traeger 8. We're heading to TKA right now, as you can see on the ND. We're then going to fly down the valley, come over towards the airport, then we're going to make the jog over towards Ziren, and then we'll do the loop around and come in for the RNAV on runway 33, right-hand departure off the end of, well, Not the end of the runway. We won't have to go that far, but off the runway. Except those other two aircraft are on their way in. They're going to get there before us. There's the mountains. There were some bigger ones further back we passed, but looks like we couldn't quite see them out there. And it is an interesting approach. We're coming into a wide plain with mountains on either side. Dial in 2,000 feet, or 3,000 feet, sorry. I was the same way with rum when I was 17. Had a very, very bad experience. And was never really a rum fan after that. I'm still not to this day. Alright, so we're about 9 miles from Top of City. You see it's getting bumpy. I think I got the seatbelt sign on. We're getting some winds across the mountains here, bumping us around. And I think we're might be bouncing off the shear of the jet stream as well. Yeah, iceberg lettuce is growing on icebergs. Did you know that? A lot of people don't. All the iceberg lettuce farmers wearing their parkas and snow boots. Alright, we're pretty much where we're going to start our descent. Crash to desktop again? Okay. Yeah, I tell you, my mistake was just drinking too much. Anchorage area traffic, Caribou, 5556, leaving flight level 390 for the Traeger 8 arrival, runway 33 into Anchorage. Alright, down we go. And when we get to 29 or 290, we'll lock that speed in as our descent speed. Be interesting to know what's causing those crashes.
Deck, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated till the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Alright, so should be fairly straightforward. Looks like we'll be coming in behind those two other aircraft, given the distance. So we get down to 10,000 feet, we'll go into approach phase. So we do our descent check. So CDU landing performance, we've reviewed and put in there. TCAS, we can set it for below. Just step below. Approach briefing is completed. Nav aids are done. NTIs, we'll do it when we get down closer to the clouds. Seatbelts are on. EFIS is set. Oh, you know what's causing yours? Okay. We'll set the Barrow now since we're just going to descend right through transition altitude. So the Barrow is currently 2969er. So we'll come over and set 2969er. A bit of a low pressure. There we go. Well, it was interesting when we did the little tour of South America there, and we landed on, I can't remember where it was, Nick, if you remember, La Paz? When the airport elevation was like 11,000 feet or 12,000 feet or something like that. It was ridiculously high. And I remember when we started the descent and then suddenly realizing we only had like a 15,000 foot descent or something like that, not a 30,000 foot descent. So speed is slowly creeping up. It's fine. Like I said, when it gets to 290, we'll lock it in there. Yep. That one there. That's where I got my information that I inputted into the thing. There's no wind. It's just gone dead quiet. And I did look it up at another source just to make sure, and it is accurate. That's what it says. No wind. I'm going to have to create a custom profile for this so I can put the CADFD, have it come up on here. I didn't realize it did that. That's pretty cool. That's the one for my Fly UK livery. That's what the profile is set up for. I'll create a Caribou one just specific for that. Oh, we got it here, CADFD. There we go, 290's coming up, so we'll lock that in. And I do like the Yorkshire tea. Taylors of Harrogate. Although, technically I drink my tea here as Twinings, but... Twinings? Yeah, Twinings. I think that's how you pronounce it. Well, yeah, it used to be like that, where it gave you the little, what would you call it, iconography. I prefer to read the raw data. Alright, so we're coming up for the entry point into the arrival. The TKA VOR. It's 4 miles away, and we're on the official star. There's the turn. We have lions over here. We can get lions. Berries, I don't think I've seen. I've seen lions in the British shops, but not berries. I think I've seen berries when I've been over there, but not over here where I am. It's a 40-mile run from TKE down to Tager. I don't know why I kept saying Traeger. That's 6 letters, not 5. Tea cake or bread cake? So for those in North America or who like to stay up late at night, I think once the Toronto airport scenery comes out through Fly Tampa, which is supposed to be this week, I'm going to probably do some informal flights when I'm available. Nice one, Wade. On Tuesdays or Thursday nights if I'm around. So I'll probably be doing some Air Canada flights out of Toronto, maybe some WestJet flights as well, just to get some variety in and do a little bit of later streams for the people in Americas. I thought it was tummy ache, Nick. That's the way I remember hearing it when I was a kid. Just watching the guys fly into Anchorage right now, seeing which way they're going. They may be going in on 3-3. We'll have to see. Actually, we're coming through the clouds. They are breaking up a bit, so it's not an overcast layer. I did honestly say it was going to be broken at 20,000, which is kind of what we were seeing. This layer here, and then we've got the other broken layer closer to the ground. Alright, so seatbelt signs are on. No smoking signs, obviously. No portable devices are on. Miles to Tager. Start slowing down at 15,000, and then we'll give it any assist we need. So we're down to 250 by 10,000. Coming up on transition altitude now. If it's a Mrs. Brown I'm thinking of, Wayne, she'd probably chew you up and spit you out. So there's some hills here. We're going to cut to the left of them and then come back around to the right. When we make this left turn, we'll actually be heading directly for the airport. There's some higher hills off this way. We're over the frozen grounds. Alright, looks like the UPS is down. Korean Airlines, yeah, he's going in on 33 as well. Alright, there's 15,000, so we're going to dial back to 250 and let her start to slow down. Engines are spooling down. And we'll give any help once we hit 11,000 that it needs to get slowed down. Not worried about icing. Through this pretty quickly. Don't worry about the mess on the ND, that will sort itself out shortly once we get slowed down. There's turn at Tager. So we're heading direct to TED now, and TED is the Anchorage VOR. We can actually dial that one in as a reference. If we go Tango Alco Delta, throw it in. There we go. And turn it on. Just pointing off towards the airfield. It's located on the eastern side of the airfield. Isn't Watford down on the south coast? If I remember right. Do we have a go-around? Yeah, it looks like the Korean Airlines is doing a go-around. Showing on the TCAS. Alright, so we're going to throw the spoilers out now, get ourselves slowed right down. Probably should have done that a little bit earlier, but that's fine. Still getting used to this thing again. We'll get those lights, well, we'll get all the lights on. Everything is up and going. We'll come over to our performance. We'll activate the approach phase just to get that out of the way. Hopefully Korean Air is going to make a turn shortly. He's only 15 miles away. See the track we're going to make up and around. I'm not sure where he's going, if he's already at my altitude. Something changed my frequency. Not sure what happened there. He's apparently turned. Yeah, there's some weird keybind that causes that to happen. So speed's down to 260. We have to be at 3,000 feet at Zyron, and we've got a couple little step downs as we go, but we want to be down to about 200 knots by then. Korean 35 Alpha, this Caribou 5556. What are your intentions after your go around? There's the airport ahead. I think you might be swinging in behind me. We're going to scoot this down to 220. Keep the speed reduction coming in. We're still full on the speed brake. Well, he didn't answer me either voice or text, so not sure what he's doing. But we're past him now. back over there somewhere. So there's the speed coming down. So now that we're level, we'll neutral, let her, or bring in the brakes, let her slow down on her own. And we're not going to need this again. We'll arm the speed brakes. So we're now level, 3,000 feet. So the VOR is out over here on the east side of the airfield, but we're going to be making the turn in a second as we pass overhead. There's the airport, and we're going to be heading for the apron right there. It's the Seat Charlie concourse at the terminal. And we have a contaminated runway. Yeah, Wayne Ireland's on my list of places to go as well. So once we make the turn towards Iron, we'll go into manage mode, slow down to 210. After the turn at Zyron, we'll go for the first stage of flaps, and we'll start getting ourselves down. So there's the turn. We're going to manage speed. Speed's coming back to 210 now. That Korean is off and going. Not sure what his intentions are.
$2,500.
So Zyron is just off the coast here. We've got to stay at 3,000. Gem out, we got to be down to 2,200, so that's fine. So we're at max speed now, 210 knots. There's the turn. So it wants us to stay at 3,000 for this leg. But once we level off, we'll go to flaps 1 and just start configuring ourselves up so we have plenty of time. Ah, it's nothing but a snowy lake down there. Just under that cloud layer. And again, if we look at the METAR, you can see where it says broken layer at 6,500. That's it there. So very accurate weather today. I am liking that. Alright, first notch of flaps coming out. Speed checked. Slowing to S speed. See, only the slats are coming out right now. It's on my list to head to the brewery and have a pint there. Figure if I'm gonna try it, might as well try it at the home source. Alright, That's us through Gemma. We can descend now to 2200. There's another UPS coming in.
Anchorage traffic, UPS 6948 is on a right downwind for runway 7 right at Anchorage.
Interesting. 2200 coming up. We're going to hold 2200 around to Herky. And then we descend to 1200 for Fox on, and then we go in. Yeah, I'm not a fan of stouts. I prefer a nice nutty ale, but I will. Oh, there's our shadow. I'm willing to try it if I'm in the home location. All right, let's do the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Just flaps and gear now. Just making the turn through Herky. There's the airport coming into sight. Going down, second notch of flaps. Anchorage area traffic, Caribou 5556 established on the RNAV runway 33. The other guy's just flown past. Sure, I think he's in the clouds still. 7,000 feet, yeah, he's up in the clouds. And of course my TCAS is down, so I'm not going to see him. So we're heading down to 12,000. As soon as we hit Fox on, we'll begin our 3-degree down slope, which will fly manually. It's about a what will it be? About a 680 foot per minute descent. There's 1200, gear down. Gears moving 3 green. Flaps 3. I have control. And flaps full.
$1,000.
We're high, that's fine. Sending out 1,000 feet instead of 680. There's one red coming in. Just got to remember for my landing to be gentle. Kind of over rotated on the flare last time on my test flight. We're okay to go long. It's
400.
It's a long runway. 2 whites,
Minimum
2 reds, landing.
300. $200.
Good.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Back.
10. 5.
It's a little severe. Reverse is on.
Anchorage traffic, UPS 6948 is turning for the final approach fix for the ILS, runway 7 right, Anchorage.
Forgot the auto brakes. Just realized that. It's fine. Alright. Reverse is off. We're going to go up to Tango and we'll exit. Wasn't bad. It was we put it down with authority. We'll call it that. There we go. Welcome to Anchorage. Anchorage traffic, Caribou 5556, clear runway 33 at Tango. Alright, so flaps come up, speed brake is armed. Landing lights, strobe lights are off. Radar is off. TCAS is in standby. Down to the terminal we go. Should see the UPS flight coming in and landing shortly. And next, around here somewhere, looks like Korean's coming back as well. Alright, we went too far. It's supposed to be down there on the taxiway. This is cargo, I think. Giving you a tour of the airport here. Yeah, I should have actually stopped when I got off. It's a short taxi to the actual taxiway, and I went past it when I was looking at switches. It's over here. Taxiway Romeo. Yeah, I'll check before we end up. There's that issue with the steering. I'll check before we come off the stream at what my landing rate was. Korean Airlines looks like he's doing donuts up there in the sky. They don't know what he's doing. Nick's coming in behind the UPS. I think he wants to do the ILS instead of the RNAV. Given we're in Alaska in winter, wouldn't anyone outside be a snowman? Alright, so I am looking for Mike. That is Victor. That is Romeo does the jog. This is Mike. Okay, this is the one I want. So I'm going to turn here. Follow Mike up to Echo. Which is here. this one, which takes us in to the inner loop for the taxi lanes. Somewhere up here. And I think I'm going to fake it at this point because I've lost track of where the lines are. I know there's a thing here because I can see the numbers. I think this is it. This is taxi lane Echo 2. Yeah, there's the numbers. I'm just going to go on whatever one this is. So when I came in here on the default scenery, this was really bumpy. There we go. And again, we're kind of all over the place with the steering. Take a bit to get used to that all again. Call it there. Parking brake coming on. We'll kill the taxi light. Ooh, no, the beacon stays on. That one comes off. So we are parked. So parking brake is set. Nav aids are all off. Flight directors.
Anchorage traffic UPS 6948 clear of 17 right, crossing runway 17 left on Delta, and then we'll taxi Delta,
auto thrust
Kilo, and Romeo to the
off. NDs are set back to ARC 10. Constraints are all off. Anti-ice is off. We never put it back on. APU not required. We have external power. External power is now connected. And engine masters for engine 1 and engine 2 are now off. Fuel pumps coming off. Beacon light is now off. Seatbelt signs are off. External power is on. Transponder is off. Cockpit door is open, and it'd be nice if we could call the jetway from here. But we are here. Actually, what I can do is, let's see if this works. Hot Hex, or not Hex, over on Twitch. Hello, you've just joined us for the end of the flight. Let's see if I can call in the, there we go. And it's time for everyone to get off the airplane. And there we are. Welcome to Anchorage, Alaska. And I think that's Nick landing out over there. Very nice. I don't know what these generics are. But we made it, the inaugural flight of the Channel livery. Hope you all enjoyed our trip today. Yeah, a lot of rocks on the tail. So we're going to run this series for a while. I think it's 16 legs.
Anchorage area traffic, tower B464, clearly active.
And it'll take us, like I said, all the way. We're going from the northern top airport in Alaska up on the Arctic Ocean. And we're flying all the way down to the bottom of South America. And we'll be winding up basically where it's just a quick cruise across the passage there to the Antarctic. The PAX button should do it, top left. Which one's that, Talia? Oh, this one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize what that was. Well, at least I know now. That's cool. So while Nick comes in once again, I will throw up the Discord channel into the chat. if anyone wants to come over. We put all our flights up there. All the live streams are, of course, open to everybody who wants to join in. They're either multiplayer or VATSim. Today we were on VATSim, and you're more than welcome to come along. All the details are posted there, and you can fly along, get the information about what server we're on, if it's multiplayer, what we're doing, where we're flying, the aircraft we're using, and all that good stuff. I'll just copy the actual link into the Twitch chat, so it is there for anyone who wants it. Also, if we hit 350 or when we hit 350 subscribers, we're just a couple away. We've got it lined up for a special flight we'll be doing in the A320 to kind of celebrate that little milestone. And it's a real life, real world flight we're going to do, and it'll be a good recreation of that as well. Yeah, I mean, I use Pushback Express, Wayne. So I just fired it up and then had them bring in the jetway. But it's nice to know that I don't have to refire it up after it closes on the departure. I can just hit that button and it'll bring it in. But we're good here. Here comes the other Caribou aircraft coming in, looking very nice, and we're good. Landing rate. Oh yeah, landing rate. Well, let's see. My landing rate on that leg was, I got to get to the right part of the world in Volanta. It was, 459. Ouch. But again, it was a contaminated runway, icy runway. I wanted to make sure I had a good solid landing down on it, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. I need to practice in the A320. It's been a while. But other than that, it was a great flight. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you all on the next stream, which is going to be on Wednesday. We are back doing Route 66. We're going from this back to the Cessna 172. Everybody have a great day, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.